Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy D Wayne bringing you yet another YouTube video at this time. So I'll be bringing you guys my second deck profile of the day. So this will be Chaos Bestials. So this will also be post cyac, of course, the advent of the legendary Chaos Angel. So this deck will obviously incorporate the Chaos Angels into the deck as well. Alright, so with that said, let's go ahead and get straight into the deck profile. Of course, as always, monsters first. So for the bestials, of course, bestial Liberalia. This one discards to add a bestial monster from your deck to your hand. Also, while it's in the graveyard, you can send one dark dragon, to the graveyard to special summon it to your field. And also, while it's on the field, you can set one branded spell and trap directly from your deck. So this card is pretty important for the deck in order to set up plays and stuff. Next, we have the standard bestials. We have two Magmuts, two Baldrake, two Druids 1, and one Serenade for your bestial package. You guys already know what bestials do. They've made quite the impact on the meta these days since their release. So yeah, pretty solid stuff. Alright, so that is it for the bestials. We're gonna go into the chaos version of it. So two Core of Chaos to combo with the Shell of Chaos, of course. So Core Chaos banishes a dark to special summon itself. Of course, if you banish Shell to special summon itself, to special summon Core, Core will special summon the Shell that's banished. And you get yourself a level 6 synchro play. Same thing with Shell with Core as well, so they both literally go hand in hand with each other. Two Chaos Witch, probably one of the more important cards in the Chaos, very chaos side of the deck, as this card has two different effects. One, when it's on the field, it can attribute itself to special summon two dark tokens from your to your field. They're dark level 2 monsters, fiend type. Of course, once you do that, you're locked into summoning light and dark synchros for the turn. You know, that's basically what this deck is all about, so there's not even too much restriction with that. Alright, so the second version of this effect is when this card is banished, you can special summon two light tuner tokens to your side of the field as well. So those come on the field as tuners, and you can use them obviously for synchro plays when combo with your bestials and your other chaos cards. Alright, so this card is pretty solid. Two Chaos Mirage Dragon. Now this card, while on field, can special summon your banished light or darks to your side of the field, of course. And when this card is used as synchro material, you can banish cards your opponent controls up to the number of other cards used for the synchro summon. So if you use this and level 4 to summon a level 8, you can banish, one card your opponent controls because you use one other monster, along with this card. But if you combo this with Witch, after she uses her effect to summon two tokens, you can summon a level 8 and pop two cards. Banish two cards because the two tokens were the other two monsters used in combo with this card. So, it has some decent implications there. It's pretty good for dealing with established boards. One Crimson Resonator. So this card is a level 2 Dark Tuner that special summons itself when you control no other monsters. And it locks you into Dark Dragon Synchros for the rest of the turn. There's some Dark Synchros that I run in the deck that, basically will explain why I run this card in the deck. Alright, so lastly, Hand Traps, Ash, and Valor, of course. Right, so that is it for all the monsters. We're going to go into the spells. This is Brand Regained. So this one, while on field, when you banish a monster, you can put that monster back into the deck and draw one card. Also, when your opponent special summons a monster while you control a bestial monster, you can target a bestial and special summon it to your field as well. So pretty decent draw and field presence as well for special summoning your bestials from the graveyard. Really good card. Triple chaos space. So now you can basically discard a light or dark to add one light or dark from your deck to your hand that cannot be normal summon a set. And while this card is in the graveyard, you can target a banish light or dark that cannot be normal summon a set and put it back, shuffle it back into the deck to draw one card. So these two work pretty well alongside of each other. So yeah. Run double tactics talent. You guys already know is a pretty decent staple that you know punishes your opponent for activating monster effects. Like if you get Ash or something, you can just activate this to draw two. Depending on what the game state is, if they asked you or something, you activate this, they only have one card in their hand, you can go ahead and look at that card and discard it to the graveyard, and they have no cards in hand. So, this card is pretty versatile depending on what the game state is and what's activated. One Allure of Darkness. So this is draw two, banish one dark. So of course, ideally you would want to banish your Chaos Witch, as she's a dark, so you can use this, banish your Chaos Witch, and then summon two tokens on the field, and then you set up plays from there. Otherwise, this is definitely a good consistency piece for your deck. One Forbidden Lance. This is mainly for protecting your Chaos Angel. Once it's been, beefed up with the light and dark effects, protecting your monsters. So, of course, it can get kaijus and stuff, but, you can avoid other things that may target it. Any other spell and trap that may target it or attempt to destroy it or anything like that. So, yeah. Staples, Back Row, Twin Twister, and Fellow Duster, and your Board Breakers and Dark Ruler no more. Alright, so that is it for the spells. We're going to go into the traps. We have one Attuned and Branded. So this can be set off of the Bestial Rebellion's effect. What it does is, during the main phase, you can synchro summon on your opponent's turn using at least a dragon monster to synchro. And while you control a bestial, if your opponent would use cards for ritual, synchro, fusion, link, they have to banish those cards instead when they use them for any form of summoning method. All right, so that's pretty good to limit your opponent's resources and stuff like that. So this is Brandy Beast, also settable of Lupetalian's effect. Um, what does this card do? I know one of the effects is you can tribute a dragon to pop a card your opponent's side of the field. And during the end phase, you can put a branded spell or trap and set it onto your field and stuff. So this card's pretty decent as well. You can, Serenade, put a branded spell and trap, have this. You can take that spell or trap and put it onto your field. So you can use that for Regained or the Attuned as well to get it on the field. Of course, I've run the same tech in here as I did with the Soul Soul. Gravity Collapse, definitely solid for Synchro Heavy decks. This, of course, is another Synchro Heavy deck, so this only makes sense. Impermanent, Staples, Strike, and Judgments, of course, to round out the trap line. Alright, so that is it for the deck. We're going to go into the extra deck. All right, first we have Red Rising Dragon. Now, this is one of the reasons why I run the Crimson Resonator. So it requires a Fiend Tuner to summon. Crimson Resonator is a Fiend Tuner. So you synchro into this, you can special summon the Crimson Resonator back to the field, and then you can go for a level 8 play from there. You go into a Scarlet or a BLs, stuff like that in order to get your level 8s onto the field. This is a Metaphys Horus. So light level 6. Essentially, you'll be using this for as effect monster version of the effect, which negates a card your opponent controls. So, yeah, if you want to negate something to get it out the way so that you can make your plays, this card is pretty good for it. 2 Chaos Beasts. Pretty decent level 6, 2000. If a card is banished this turn, this card gains 1000 attack. Um, Once per turn, you can add one of your banished light or darks to your hand. And also, once per turn, while this card is in the graveyard, you can banish one light and one dark to special summon this card from your graveyard. So, it's a good utility and, kind of bridges into your higher synchro plays. Scarlet Red Dragon, of course, blows up special summon effect monsters and burns for 500 for each. Definitely a solid card indeed. Bales, of course, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And when you take damage, this card will gain attack equal to the damage you took. I also want one Draco Berserker in here as well for his disruption and power up effects. 2 Chaos Archfiend. Now, in the same vein as Chaos Beast, when a card is banished this turn, this card actually, instead of gaining 1000, this card gains 2000 attack. So it's 25 base, so it becomes 4500 attack. And during the battle phase, this card can attack your opponent's monsters once each. And, you know, each monster that's destroyed by battle this card, destroyed by battle with this card, is banished after that battle. So you attack into a field of monsters, you're banishing each of the monsters you're battling, and you're doing some pretty decent damage as well, with it being 4500 attack. And lastly, its effect is when it's destroyed or leaves the field, you can special summon a Chaos Synchro monster from your extra deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. So if I did run a Chaos Angel, I'd be able to summon her out with this effect. But of course, I'm not running her. Not Chaos Angel, Chaos Goddess. Speaking of Chaos Angel, I run two of it, and this one specifically, as you'll likely see two of it in this as opposed to any other deck. So it's basically the deck is focused around this, so it would only make sense. But as you guys should already know what it does. Protects your stuff from activated monster effects and by battle. So it's a really solid card. And we're also running Death Pattern, Bestial Death Pattern. This one is also one of the new cards out of this set, of course. This one, while on the field, it can special summon your banished lighter darks, including Bestial. Anything that can be special summoned, of course, anything that cannot be special summoned from graveyard. The different, the conditions, for summoning, you can only do the ones that can actually be special summoned. Also, while this card is on the field, you can once per turn shuffle a banish monster back into the deck to either destroy a card or to negate a monster effect. So, in the case if you do it from your banish pile, you can destroy a card when it activates, or if you do it from your opponent's graveyard, you can negate a monster effect. So, this card has some really decent implications, really good extender, and real good disruption as well, on top of a 3500 body. So, this card is definitely really solid. So this is Oh, the name of this card is secret rare writing. But yeah, but this requires a tuner and a non-tuner dark dragon. So this requires a dark tuner and a non-tuner dragon monster. So this is another reason why I run the Crimson Resonator. So what this does is firstly it cannot be destroyed by battle. It can make two attacks on monsters this during the battle phase. And lastly, you can target a monster your opponent controls. You can pop it, or rather, You can half the attack of the monster, and inflict damage to the opponent equal to the half. Like say the monster's 3,000, and you bring it down to 1,500. So you would burn them for 1,500 while cutting their attack in half. So has some decent implications there. You can go Crimson Resonator and the Bestial Lubellion to make this as well. So and on top of all that good stuff is a 4,000 body on top of that. So definitely a solid card. And lastly, we have Tyrant Red Dragon Archfiend. Level 10, 3,500 attack, requiring two tuners and one or more non-tutor monsters. So essentially, you can go. Let me show you the best way to make this. Chaos Switch in the graveyard and a Bestial in hand. So you can go Bestial Serenade, activate, banishing the Chaos Switch, and the witch will summon two tokens to your field with the Bestial monster on the field, and then you can tribute all of that to summon this. So it's 3,500. Firstly, it can blow up the entire field, except itself, of course. And when it attacks during the battle phase, you can negate the effect and destroy it. And then this card gains 500 attack after you do that. So it's card's pretty solid. If you find yourself in those game states when you're on the back foot, a Chaos Switch and a Bestial can pretty much turn the tide in your favor, depending on what the game state is. All right. So that is it for the deck profile, second one of the day. Of course, hope you guys enjoyed. Comments, of course, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and of course, I'll be getting back to you guys on that. All right, so I will bring that at that. So I'll be bringing you guys more videos in the meantime. But until then, peace. YouTube.